This is an energy update for December, and my God, are things moving fast. I don't know about you, but I am feeling the energy of momentum, of flow, and things are happening at lightning speed. Now, December is the energetic frequency of a 3 because it is the month of 12, and that equals the number 3. And 3 is the number of the positive mind. It is the number of opportunities, creation, manifestation. And it is also our willpower. It's our ability to show up in our strength. And it is our confidence. So, in order for us to actually move forward and jump on the timeline of our own positive mind, which is the 3, it's necessary for us to feel that sense of self-trust and security within the self, which is where the confidence comes from. So the positive mind is directly related to our third chakra, which is our personal power. And so we work with these energies at this time and develop and strengthen ourselves so that we can open ourselves to potential, to possibility. And we're moving so quickly right now from this 2023 year into that new energy that is already making its way in. So the new energy coming in is the energy frequency of the 8, which will be the 2024 energy. And we are shifting and moving from this space of our aura. So this year has been all about the 7. 7 is our aura, our magnetic field. It is creating healthy boundaries. It is our magnetism in what we can attract. It's our ability to elevate both ourselves and others. And if you think about the aura, it's this energy field, right? And when we are not feeling well, whether it's sickness, illness, mental, like depression or anxiety, something emotional that's happening within us, this energy field starts to contract. It starts to collapse within. And what is actually happening is we're pulling from our own energy resources to give ourselves some vitality within our own physical body. So it's moving in so that we can actually sustain ourselves. Whereas when we're feeling vibrant and healthy and expansive, everything starts to open up. And then our magnetic field starts to open up. And so any of the dense feelings, emotions, things that are stored in the body, things that are unconscious start to become conscious when we do this work and we open ourselves. And then our magnetic field gets stronger and bigger and we have more vitality. Now, the 7 and the 8 are directly related. So the 7 is that aura, right? It's also directly related to the crown chakra, which connects us into our divine guidance. So this year you may have noticed a greater capacity to receive your intuition, a greater space within you to hear messages, or see visions, feel and sense, have a gut instinct, however you receive your messages. And I'm going to give you a little bit of insight here that we all have all of the clairs. So we can feel, we can see, we can sense, we can have that inner knowing, we can hear the voice that comes through and gives us messages. And typically every person has one aspect of their intuition that is strongest, that is the entry point. And as we start to really trust that guidance that we feel within and move in that space of aligned action is when we're moving from the space of clarity through our inner guidance system. The more that we start to act on that inner guidance, all of the other clairs, all of the other clairaudience, clairsentience, clairvoyance, all of the other aspects of our intuition start to strengthen and develop. And so we open ourselves to this greater capacity to move in alignment with our intuition. And when we're moving in that space, we are in a space of deep self-trust. We trust what we feel. We trust what we hear. We don't doubt. We don't start going back and forth in our mind and trying to figure out, is this right? Is this wrong? I don't know. I'm not sure. There's no question. We hear, we see, we feel, and we act. Or we hear, we see, we feel, and part of that information we receive as guidance is also not to act yet. So there are layers that come with the inner guidance, and sometimes we receive the message, and it's the message we receive it, and if we're quick to jump on it, it may be too soon. So when we can receive it and hold that space for it and still be in that space of presence, we keep ourselves open to hear not yet, or to feel that sense of not yet. And then we'll know exactly when the time is right. It will come through, because everything is in divine order and divine timing if we are open to that possibility. And how we become open to that possibility is to be still, to be present, to be aware. It is that simple. It truly is. And we're wired in a society to be in the hustle culture, to keep going, to keep moving, to keep doing, to fight for things. And if you're fighting for anything, yes, there's that inner warrior, that strength, that personal power, but the fight aspect is something that is necessary to release. It's time to relax into our greatness. And every time we take aligned action, we're strengthening that muscle of our intuition. We're strengthening that capacity of self-trust and self-love within the self. And that is all self-love is when it comes down to it. It's not about going and doing self-care and taking care of your body and getting your fingernails painted and doing your hair and whatever it is. Yes, take care of your body. We want to take care of this vessel so that we are able to receive the messages 100%. What I'm talking about when it comes to self-love is true self-love comes from listening to our guidance and acting on it. Listening to our inner guidance and trusting over and over and over again. And the more we can do that, the more we step out of the story. And the story is what has been created in each person's life. We all have our own story that we come in with, our karmic patterns, our ancestral lineage, and we play out these stories. And the only way out of the story is to drop all stories. It's not to create a new one. It is literally stepping out of the story and becoming naked. Identityless, so we release all identities. If you think about it, actually it's not even a thought. If you remember a time where you were fully present, in the moment, fully engaged, whether it was in conversation with another human being, whether it was with your child playing, whether it was on an adventure when you're away on vacation, maybe it's the work that you do, a creative project that you're in, and you're fully engaged. All of your energy is fully there. In that moment of full presence, were you thinking, I'm a mother, I'm a businesswoman, I want to make this much money, I want to go and travel here? Were you being pulled out in any direction? I need to do this, I need to do that. Were you thinking all the things or all the aspects that we identify and the labels that we identify as the self. Were you thinking of any of those when you were fully present and fully engaged in the moment, in what you were doing? If you remember that moment when you were that present, that is when we drop all identities. When we are in our full presence, our full awareness in the moment, we are standing in our sovereignty, in our truth. And from that space of truth, we find trust. We find self-trust. Because in that state of presence, we are open and able to receive. And so many people have difficulty receiving. You know, there are many people that give and give and give, and then you want to give them something. They're like, oh, no, it's okay. I don't need anything. And just feel that energy. It's like a pushing away, right? And so we've also been wired to feel like receiving is not good. And it is. There's this equal aspect of give and take. And it's not take, give and receive. This is reframing the words. I caught myself there. So reframing the words, give and receive, right? It's the masculine and the feminine energy within us. The masculine is the action, the feminine is the receptive, the receiving end. So this is the interplay of those energies within us. And the more that we can be in that space of presence, we receive everything we need, moment to moment to moment. And this is the power of meditation. It retrains the body-mind to be here now. Not yesterday in the past, dwelling on things that have happened, or rehashing it all out and talking about it again and again and again, because every time we talk about the past, we're living in it, and it's not being in the future, projecting how things could be or how things should be or how we want them to be. From this space of presence, we can get a clear view of all potentials. And from that space, we have a full antenna and wired in system to the cosmos to be able to step forward in true alignment. And from that space, so much opens up. And this is the energy we're moving into. So 7 is where I left off after I went into that whole thing right there, was that 7 is the crown. It's our divine guidance, and it's directly related to the aura, our electromagnetic field. And so we have this really strong potential from what we've created this year, from our developed psychic senses, to step forward with momentum now. We're moving into the energy field of the 8. The 8 is our prana. Prana is our healing force within the body. It's our life force energy. It's the same thing if you've heard of chi. It's the same thing as chi. Now, the prana, we have 72,000 nerve channels that run through the body, and the prana moves through all of them. When we are healthy, when we are radiant, when we are holding that full capacity for ourselves, everything is flowing. Our meridians are activated. Our chakra system is balanced and active. The cells of our body are openly communicating with each other, sending the signal, receiving the signal, making the action. The body responds, right? So everything is working in this interplay. And when we can strengthen our prana, specifically through breath work, because the breath carries the life force energy through our body. So any stagnation that we experience in the physical body through repressed emotions that we have not let ourselves express, and we all have them, no one is exempt from this story because this is part of human experience. This is part of why we are here. Our emotions are here to be an aspect of our guidance system, and they're not meant to run the show. They can give us an indication of what is going on in that moment, and to be able to transform and transcend the emotional state in that moment is true self-mastery. To move from that state where when we feel an emotion and say there is a trigger, instead of react, or instead of going into the old way of how we typically will react when something like this happens, we practice presence. Presence within ourself. Feel it, sense it, and just be with it. And in that moment, we can make a choice to shift it. It truly is that simple. It is simple and it's not, because it takes consistent practice and dedication. And the practice and the dedication comes from the emotional regulation that we develop through a meditation practice, through breath work. Breath work is a form of meditation. We have the 8 limbs of yoga. Pranayama, breath work, is one of the limbs of yoga. Meditation, dhyana, is another limb. So we work with these energies within us. And as we start to open this capacity of expansion through the breath, the 7, the aura that we worked on this year, expands more and more and more. And when we expand the aura, we get stronger. When we work on the prana through breath work, we get stronger. And the nature of how the 8 shows up in our day-to-day life when we move out of our practice and into the world is infinite potential. 8 is infinity. 8 is courageousness. It's our ability to feel fear, do it anyways. And the healthy fear. We're not talking about fear being in danger. We're talking about stepping out of our comfort zone. And 8 is the number of self-initiation. That is part of the pranic body. So this year coming forward into 2024, we are being prepared in this December month for the next initiation. And a lot of us are moving into this next stage of our being. Our whole world has been transformed in the 2023 year. And I'm just putting this out there, but feel if it resonates. Reflect on your 2023. Have you been redirected? Have your relationships and your boundaries been tested this year? Has your life felt different in 2023 compared to every other year? And yes, every year is going to feel different, but this year particularly was a huge initiation collectively, personally and collectively. We know this already. It's part of the mystery school teachings, as within, so without. And we are all here to do our own individual part on working on the self so that the outside world, the without, starts to rearrange. The only way that the world around us will heal is if each individual heals within the self. The only way the world will be free is if each individual is free within themselves. It is law. It is a universal law. So the invitation is to be with yourself. Work on yourself. Prepare for this year coming up, this 2024 year. It's going to be a really big year for so many of us. So many of us that are here to shine a light for others and elevate them into their own sovereignty, their own divinity, to see their potential and to step forward in their own leadership. This next year is the year for the leaders of leaders to step up. Step up into that next level of leadership to help the other leaders, to assist. And it is also the year of pure potentiality, where Soul Tribe is going to come in. And we are going to start to magnetically attract soul family into our life. And this is already happening. Some of us are already experiencing this, where there are people from other areas in the world and we're starting to connect. It's been happening for a while now, and it's going to start to accelerate. And more people are going to show up from our soul lineage, our soul family, to be of assistance. And this could be a single message. This could be a little drop of wisdom that we pre-planned on our path to meet this soul as a contract, so that we receive that message for our next step. Or it could be a bigger relationship. It could be something that evolves into a working relationship with someone to lead together, because we are moving into this state of world where we are moving into collaboration and we are coming together to serve. And so we are going to attract people into our life, and we will know. We will know when we are meant to work with them. We'll know the message that comes through that is meant for us, and maybe we are the messenger. And so this is going to be a year coming forward of so much potential. So there is some homework. I've been talking about this throughout these videos here and there. It's been coming up, and I can't emphasize enough how important it is to clear the clutter out of your life this year. So we're approaching the end of 2023. We're still in the first week of December here. And so remember that the more we take responsibility for things in our life, the more we receive things to be responsible for. And if we can look at that from a space of excitement, knowing that when we clear the clutter and take responsibility for what's in front of us, we create opportunity. We create space. So releasing things from our home, going through all your drawers, all of your closets, feeling into each object, each piece of clothing, each thing that you have in the home. It could be even furniture that you feel like you've outgrown. And I'm not saying go out and spend a lot of money and be like, okay, I'm going to buy a whole new couch set. There are certain things that hold energy, and they hold energy from our past. So this is the point that I'm making with this. They hold energy that is part of the old vibration of who we are. And these are the things that it's time to release. It's time to let them go. We can't bring them with us anyways. This is also a thing to remember. And as we start to clear from our life the physical aspects, the physical objects, we create more space because we are actually holding energetic space for every single thing that we own, that we have in our space. So that is the starting point. And then we can work simultaneously on our own body, our physicality. So this is a great time. December is a great time to start. A lot of people say, just wait till the new year, it's going to be the holidays. I'll start exercising January 1st, or, I'll start meditating then, whatever it is. I'll eat healthier then. It's the holidays. And if you make the change now, if you start to initiate yourself into that change now and commit to yourself, you are going to prepare yourself for the most expansive year you can imagine. It's here. It's here now. It's already happening. Yes, we are still in this energetic frequency of the 7. And at the same time, the 8 is coming in, and it's like they're overlapping right now. And the 3 is holding this space. This 3 is the opportunity. It's the potential. It's the creation, the manifestation. And so we're working with these energies right now, and they're very potent and very present. So if we can keep up on the path, keep doing the inner work, keep opening ourselves to create space. And remember, we have to bring our bodies with us. So my key phrase is strong body, clear mind, invincible spirit. This is part of the work that I teach and that I coach my clients with. Strong body, clear mind, invincible spirit. Your spirit is your intuitive guidance. Your mind requires the space between the fluctuations of the thoughts to receive your spirit. And your body requires a relaxed state of being, an alertness and a strength within to support all of that. And the mind-body is connected. Thoughts create feelings, feelings create thoughts, and that becomes a state of being. And so when we have the body, mind, spirit working in unison, in harmony and supporting each other, we are fully embodied in our truth. If you feel that you are ready to jump in, to start something new, and you have a vision for yourself, for leadership, maybe you want to share a course with the world, maybe you want to get your business online, maybe you've started and you don't know where to go next, I'd love to connect with you. I'd love to support you if there is something that's blocking you from stepping into that next level of leadership, and you know you're here to do something more. I'd love for you to reach out for me. So I offer complimentary clarity calls for coaching, and I will post the link in the description. And in this conversation, we can go through whatever is going on in your own life in this moment, what you want to create, what's getting in the way, and I will help you move through that in this one call. And I will show you the way through and support you in that. And it's also an opportunity to understand what it would be like to work with me in one of my 6-month coaching programs. So I have 2 options with the 6-month coaching program, and I'd love to connect with you and share more about it if it resonates. So please reach out if it does. And I'm wishing you the most amazing day, night, or evening, wherever you are in the world. And I will see you very soon.